in reality, they say nga dogs are our best friend. But when you own a dog, hindi ikaw master sa dog. The dog is your master. Why? Magkaon, ikaw gapakaon siya.
Ikaw pa magasto.
Ikaw magastos siya. Kung malalain matyaga, ikaw mapabakuna, ikaw matanang, ikaw magtinlo sang iyang
Poop.
Poop.
The following joined Dnx in its second anniversary celebration. Negros Occidental Governor Eugenio Jose Lexon, Negros Occidental Vice Governor Jeffrey Ferrer, Bacolod City Mayor Evilio Leonardia, Bacolod City Vice Mayor Elcid Familiaran, Bacolod Congressman Greg Gasataya, and Grace Pharmacy.
We've been talking about politics over the past several weeks, and we have interviewed movers and shakers, leaders, political figures here on Dnx Publicus. But today, this would be a different discussion. We will be talking about politics from the perspective of students, the youth. And today, we have with us two gentlemen from the University of St. LaSalle. Both are students of political science. Some critics would say, political science. Let's test that course today. We have, to my left is Archel Barayoga. He is the president of the Political Science Society of USLS. To his right, to his left, is Roberto Miguel Yulo. Actually, our host on DNX Juventus, and he is the religious and spiritual advisor of
Yes.
Is it correct?
Yes.
And you look the part. You used to look like Jesus. With your long hair, now you are clean shaven. Nga nagpakalbo ka? That is the greatest question.
Oh yes, the greatest question. Nga nagpakalbo ko. Nagpakalbo ko because it's back to zero. Is aside from the Delta variant that made the pandemic back to zero, I wanted to reform my life, renew my perspective in life. Kaya so nagpalaba ko because I wanted to know kung ano nang apit siya. Kaga astabla ano kalaba, ang akong pasensya, sini nga pandemya. So that's why nagpalaba ko. And then subong, pagka back to zero, and yesterday was day zero, sang klase high, ambal ko, dugay naman hindi ka balik sa barbero, sige mapakalbo na ko kag para magdalhay man akong napamisa.
So may philosophical basis gali ang pagpakalbo?
Yes, may philosophical basis. Sa mga pabigo-bigo, but for me, no, it's not pabigo-bigo. It's for hapos magligo-ligo. Because wala na sa gabal.
So ang ideolohiya sang pakalbo, and that would be a different topic altogether. But
Yes.
let's talk about politics nowadays. No? Archel, everyone is caught up in the excitement over the nearing elections. It's an omnibus election, meaning it's from the president down to councilors. Ang barangay will be 2 years from now or 2 years after, they say. As a student, how do you look at this excitement and what does it mean for you?
Well, I think for me, on the bigger perspective siguro as a society and as a country, amo naman yung subong ang tinion nga the country will be divided again, no. So we experienced it for the last last 2016. It was very divided. It was very chaotic. At the same time, it was very grabbing hype. Well, of course, for that certain candidate who made promises, and of course, we were very we were on the board man syempre sa hype. So this time naman niya, it goes all the way around naman, and trying to change siguro on what is there subong agapungko, or trying to retain kung sino nga subong agapungko. So I guess it is really a battle for our lives as a citizens of the country. At the same time, syempre sa students, no, on the students' perspective, we in the mga student councils and of course student organizations, we have been calling for respective, syempre, nga mga advocacies and respective nga mga agendas, particularly siguro sa mga policies on students, for example, on the healthcare. Kaya of course, we have been in this pandemic for, I don't know, how many years ago? I lost count. It's 2. Yes, it's 2 na gali. So, it's already, doon nag-stack up sa actually sa mga aton nga mga calls balahaw. So, amo gina sa ang ibuhos gibla nato nga ibubunot bala for the next election. So, amo ginaguro ang nga grabe gid for the next election. I've heard a lot of my fellow students, fellow youth nga they will really get their due magid for the next election and we will do it together. Amo that's
Sang
what they said.
nagligad ng election, butante ka na hindi pa?
When di pa actually because I was very young back then.
Pila ka na subong?
I am 21.
So
21.
6 years ago, you were 14 and you were not able to vote.
No, 16, sir.
16, diba? You were not able to vote. Of course, kaya wala ka pa nag-18. But were you actually swept by calls for change by Duterte in 2016?
I would be lying if I'm not actually.
Why?
Well, it was we know sang 2016 nga kabalota nga we are in the new digital age syempre. We have been in social media and most of our lives syempre sa social media. Do kita gid actually naton nga grabe gid nga grabe gid ang support gibla sang tao sa kay this certain candidate that calls for certain change So I guess grabe gid like
You're talking like a lawyer, a certain candidate. And that certain candidate is actually Duterte.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you believe that there was a need to change things in 2016.
Or so they say actually
Or so they say. Why so? What did you see if you knew once that call for change? Anong natabo that time? Because Duterte brought in a new platform. It was a war against drugs. But no one was saying that we had to end the drug menace in the Philippines before Duterte came. So ano nga particular aspect of change nga nagdala sa imo?
Well, the narrative actually sa una, we've had amo ning ilang quote ila. The past presidents have been like ara sila sa legislature, for example. They have been as they say disente kuno blahaw. And some of them syempre liberals, more on the liberal side giblahaw. On the political spectrum siguro mga sila I forgot basta sa right something
Social Democrats.
On the right, basta something on the right. I forgot the actual term. Pero amo
You mean conservatives?
Basta liberal sila, on the liberal side. So duara bala nga do tama ka decente bala kuno something, wala kuno bala gina why kuno bala gina discipline or something. So I guess ang naglabot.
Are you trying to say kay siling sang sunoy sa bangga the Aquino administration ari inuwans tong istorya ha? Siling sang sunoy sang bangga sa bangga ara sila kuno sa elite. Sa elite bla? Sa elite. Okay. Amo nang ginamin mo.
Mo na sa actually.
Okay.
In the elite.
In the elite ha? Elite.
Elite. Wala mo
siling
na
sang sunoy sa bangga elite mo. Okay. So there was a need to break that elite politics.
Yes, that's what they amo nang ang narrative sa una So
What
when
was bad
Duterte
with elite
came,
politics way back then?
yes, sir.
What was bad about elite politics?
It's more on being nakakita na bisang Filipinos sa una nga ang tanan nga tanan nga may mga kwarta, tanan nga may nga mga kapitalista o for example or mga businessman or something or magida. Most of them are from elite. So when Duterte came to picture, grabe ang iyang narrative and the way he established his identity nga, okay, I am a mayor from this certain town, I'm a very simple person, but I'm a very firm person that can give you this iron fist ka dapat amune. So those people nga arada really believe nga para mabago naman. Amo naman na. So, we were very swept gid eh.
Oo. But did
Yes.
we actually, or those who believed in Duterte, did they actually fail to look into the claims? Example, sa pagkapatay ni Noynoy, may mga nagpagwa ng studies nga our economy was way better under Pinoy than now.
Oo.
What do you think, Miggy?
During that time, sa campaign period, ako mismo, I have to admit, nga I had that baller, nga tinga Duterte Cayetano. I was proud of it. My family was against me that time, but I was willing to fight for it.
Tapang at malasakit ka rin.
Yun, that time. Why? Because I see Duterte as a dog that barks and bites. But during that time, I failed to see who he bites. I just knew that he barks. Kumbaga kung sa Pinoy pa, askal siya. Makita mo siya kung dindiin, gataghol siya sa mga tao, kung kabalo ka, nga kung i-provoke mo siya, mga gatgid siya. Galing kay wala ka kabalo kung sino kagton niya. Ang gapakaon bala si iya, o kung ang dapat niya pakanon. Kay kung askal siya, I see him as like the father dog. Ang mayara bala, litter of puppies. Na asong-aso talaga yung pag-iisip. Eh. He knows how to interact. He was with the masses. Unlike natin sa elite politics to, in relation to that, sa elite politics, we know nga gapungko lang sila. And then, ang istorya to that time, gapungko sila, kag ginibayran sila para magpungko da, pero wala, hindi sa naman makita, unindiin sila. And then, subong naman, sa question mo na, have we failed to see that? Yes. How? First of all, numero uno, ang pandemya. We failed to see how he would react to the pandemic because we didn't expect it. And we failed to see how he would react sa left na later on. Remember, when he sat down in government, it was the first time that the left has nakasulod sa Malacanang. It was the first time in history nga nakasulod sa Malacanang with the president to speak with the president. And then during that time, that was I think 2016 or 2017, he walked in what's that road before Malacanang gani? The
Commonwealth.
Yes, Commonwealth.
Before Malacanang.
Yeah, where the massacre happened.
Mindiola.
Yeah, Mindiola. He walked in Mindiola, he talked to the peasant farmers, this, that. But we failed to see how he would react later on. As a dog. As a askal.
That's an interesting analogy you have there, no? Nga
Yes.
ido siya.
Oo.
Okay, but wala ta nag-anticipate that he would bite us?
Yes, that he would bite us, or let's say the ones nga panag-iya siya. Because sa askal la kabalaw sa tag-iya eh. Makita man lang kung sa ulihin kung patay na siya, just like with Noynoy. I'm not saying that Noynoy is a dog, neither Duterte is a dog, but let's just liken them as a dog because dogs are the closest to man, aside from horses, di ba?
But what you have there is a very interesting analogy because what you are trying to put across, the point at least
Yes.
you're trying to make is, as an askal, you are a public figure.
Yes.
And you are practically owned by everyone.
Yes.
But that is the success of Duterte because he made people believe that they owned him.
Yes.
So they had individual ownership. Si Duterte is my president.
Yes.
Tatay Digong gani mo.
Oo, tatay Digong.
But because of that packaging and messaging, which was very successful, we forgot to look into the claims.
Yes.
Paghambal niya nga, may programa ako, subong niya, droga lang anay. No one bothered to ask about his programs. In fact, even you, nga mga estudyante kamo sang political science,
Yes.
or at least that time, hindi pa kamo, but you wanted to get involved in politics, but you never asked that. Did you?
Umuman actually, sir. I think it also boils down again to that very good guro bilang nga propaganda bilang nila nga pag
Sa diin, sa Facebook?
Yes, particularly.
Ano ang nagkagat sa imo nga,
Nga mo like shoving the narrative bila sa aton nga okay, the drug problem here in the Philippines is really really bad gidya and we need to kill them amo na. So syempre na sway gite nga I mean on our instincts man totoo magibe if
was
we
there a
see
time
something.
nga nagambal ka nga okay lang patyon ng adik? That you thought of it actually?
Well, at first, sa una, gidya sang mga way back, gidya sang 2016, siguro. Pero, syempre, mas-masan kita because we're humans mo. We're humans, there's an instinct for us to be violent when something wrong happens, di ba? So, pero syempre, human as we are man, mayroon man ta morals, and mayroon man ta conscience, doon pa minsan do ka sala, do ka, well, muna sang katabo. But syempre, to add to analogy, guro kay ano,
But
no?
what was solid about, I'll go back to that later.
Sige.
What is solid about Duterte's performance? I mean, it's like 5 years going into his last term.
Ang solid ng Russia performance was that ang nakita ko nga gid pa matud-an nilang gida sa pagambala was that some people are going to die and may napatay man gid. I cannot say nga innocentes, I cannot say nga they were guilty because there was no due process of law. Well, we are a democracy man nga
Miggy, that's an interesting point of view because ang ginambal nimo nga isa lang ka promesa niyang na-fulfill, that is the only actual promise that he fulfilled, that people are going to die.
Concretely fulfilled. People nga makita gid naton without looking at the statistics, without looking at facts. As a lay person, like kung ara agad sa dalan, and like let's go down to the masses. Kung mamanguton ka, ano ang naubragi Duterte? Could you explain economy with the sense nga, with statistics, with the numbers? No. You could only say nga, may napatay. You cannot say nga, are they guilty or what? We cannot judge. Guaranteed na sa Bill of Rights nga, you are innocent until proven guilty under the court of law. But may kapatay. Is it corrupt? We cannot say. Do they have records? Do they have affiliations? We can say because it is out there. Pero kung sila nga totally gid nga, what else are his promises? Okay, build. May napatindog. But if you scrutinize it, tapos makadtogid sa nuances, gid, tsakto bala ang pagbudget sina? Tsakto bala pag ano? That's where you will see the problems. And that's where we lack because numbers are confusing. Or sometimes the only number that we like is the number on our GCash and our wallets. That's the numbers that we could honestly relate to. Pero tingnan sila nga, okay, wow, grabe, amo nagli kataason sang tori agin pa tindog. Ti ano, makasulod ko da bala. Mga muna lang ano.
It's word psychologically sa aton eh.
The following joined DNX in its second anniversary celebration. Former 3rd District Congressman Albi Benitez, Councilor Al Victor Espino, Councilor Wilson Jun Gamboa Jr., Abang Lingkod Congressman Stephen Paduano, and Mr. Ricardo Canoctan.
But is that a harsh judgment on the body politic? In 1986, democracy was restored, di ba?
Yeah.
Marcos was kicked out, Cory came, and it is supposed nga nagbalik ang demokrasya sa aton. But have we ever understood democracy for what it is? Example, nadala tatanan sa Facebook what the trolls and the influencers of Duterte are saying, tapang at malasakit. Pero we never went beyond the slogan, which is supposed to be the mark of a mature body politic. The elections were in 2016, 1986 na pulak si Marcos mo. That's 30 years later, but the voter does not understand what a democratic elections is supposed to be. We are still swayed by slogans and now memes. Ano lang taon ni mo, Archel? Isn't that a sad state for the country?
I think it's always been like that, no? It's true that it is historic magitutod what happened in 1986 or sa EDSA sa una. It was a grabe ding solidarity. Even sa Negros, grabe man ding solidarity. Galing kay it's also sad man nga there are those people man syempre nga who took advantage of this those gali nga natabo so na sa EDSA and took over, and basically like a lot of elites mangyapon still mangyapon they took over, so it's like something ended pero kung sino lang nabilin Nagkapit lang sila liwat, no? Nagkapit lang sila liwat. And, amo na, so basically, it's still the same thing over and over again unless we mangyapon.
But does it seem na we haven't learned how to look for better leaders? We still look for, I did a story before when I was working for an investigative news outfit in Manila, and among the voices that we have heard there is a Negros, for example, is that we don't look for the better leader, we look for the better master.
Better master.
For the better master. Amo man ang sitwasyon nga natabo kay Duterte?
Yes. We were looking for a better dog. Oh, we were looking for a... Yeah, tsak na.
Also to add man guro, no, kay you're also looking for a better dog. Another analogy naman guro, that also connects siguro how we view Duterte as a father.
Father.
As a father figure, do ka mo na bala nga tatay digong nga
ang gwa sila, doon may mga daddy issues.
Yes.
Amo na gani, may mga daddy issues gito guro tol sa Pilipinas, no, nga we have to
an alpha dog, an alpha male, no.
Although the daddy is the alpha dog.
Yes, that's the alpha dog, diba?
So dogatabo ng
Oo. Nga willing to bite bala. Yeah, amo to, di ba? Willing to bite. And then yes, we were looking for a better dog, no. We failed to see what that dog eats. Ano pala ginikaon niya sini?
Danay pa, let me scratch deeper into that assertion of yours.
Yeah.
We are looking for a better dog. Nga
Yes.
a dog instead of master.
Dog because in reality, they say nga dogs are our best friend. But when you own a dog, hindi ikaw ang master sa dog. The dog is your master. Why? Magkaon, ikaw gapakaon siya.
Ikaw pa magasto.
Ikaw magastos siya. Kung malalain matyaga, ikaw mapabakuna, ikaw matanang, ikaw tinlo sang iya nga
Pup.
Siya
Siya wala ka man niya ginambalan sang ido nga aman ko na.
Oo,
Ikaw
ganun.
man na iya.
Ikaw na, ito mo. Desisyon. Pero hindi po siya pwede masugo nga kung master na kita. Hindi mo siya literally pwede masugo nga tinuid ang kana ang imo nga tae.
Dong iban ga mo na.
Gamo na.
Gakaon.
Tapos magamo na may problema na gipadala.
Pag kung may kagton pa sa nga tao, problema mo pagid.
Amo pag ang budlay pag ida. Kung sabi like let's say you're looking for a better dog. May bitik siya, isa duwa, okay para kwaon. Pero kung damo nagbitik gani gatapik siya. Kunti ko gisagiri tamad na ta, abay da. Makatay na sa dugay-dugay. So, dugay ni pabayaan na bala.
Are we tanay, if that is your analogy, but sino yung gapangita ta presidente hindi as a leader but as a pet?
Yes, because we want him to practically serve us. Hindi na sa literal sense kati nga we don't want a leader, but yes, practically as a pet, kati natawang-tabot na siya leader. Okay, so ibutata siya leader. Okay.
And there goes the problem, I think, because if you elect a leader, once he gets elected to office, you let him or her lead.
Yes.
You don't make him a pet like what the left wanted in the past. Diba? May wise lang Duterte. But when Duterte refused to follow them anymore, kontra na nila. Is that the problem in looking for a pet?
Yes, because we want that person to obey. Sige, papungkuon ta kada, pero may pero There's always a pero. That's why I do not really understand. Because when you sit down there, you should be able to confront unpleasant necessities. Kabalo ka naman nga masakitan ka because you have to step on someone. Once may ginitapakan ka, may masakitan, may mabato, gina. So, that's what we failed to see. That's always in backdoor conversations. Sige, when you organize, sige, pungko kada. Pero amo na. Sometimes it is explicit. Sige, buligan na kada. Ako bahala si mo, pre. Pero kung haragin sa italital, bahala ka na da, pre.
Danay.
Diba?
Do hindi ko makita kung anong nga kwani nga philosophical frame. Do hindi man Slavoj Žižek, hindi man Jordan Peterson, di ni halin man. From the point of view of a dog lover. Okay. Now, very interesting that point, no? Do you agree?
Well, Ang mabataning i-add ko later, Gina, no? I forgot the verbatim gid eh. I've read this certain lines sa philosopher. Amo na sa like the fundamental question in a philosophy in politics. It's not who we find balat sa matulidad. It is something we find someone in where we can give our servitude better than the other. Do ka mo na blaho.
Which means
nga amo na nga why tagapangita sang ano eh. It relates to the ang colloquial bilang nga term nga wala sila gapangita sang leader nga to serve them, gapangita sila kung sang master nga i-serve nila. So it's like gapangita sila sang better master bila for servitude than you know.
but that might not be philosophical, that might be practical. For example, if I look for the better master, ang akon amo ang masweldo sa akon, amo ang mapakaon sa akon, among mahataglungon kung mapatay ko, mapatay ang akon ng pamilya, amo nang mabayad sa akon ospital. That is more in a practical sense when I say you're looking for the better master. Eba? But let's go to the now.
Well, we could say guro nga practical philosophy sa no.
Practical philosophy. All right. Let's go to the now. Amo man gyapon. Sang ginamuno nimo kay ina nga may calls for change again. Were you referring to the national level or the local level?
I think it's both siguro. Kaya ano mo, this is the national elections. It goes with the local here, and it goes with the national. It also on in a sense bilang nga holistic man balahaw. So whoever is on the top, syempre it all trickles down to ano mo,
Okay.
to
Basta
the local.
ari malakat na tas tunok. Tunokon na ning aton istoryahan. Local, may nagasiling nga dapat kambyuhon ang Leonardia administration. May mga thoughts kamo sinaula.
Well, we could ano man.
Tunokon na ni.
This is really difficult actually kaya there are a lot of differing ideas on mo and differing the other side syempre we could say nga grabe gin ang they have been here veteran na sa no. Ang sapiak naman niya, it's a fresh start galing kay there are like nuances and other stuff man bala nga hambal nga why would he run subong or something mo na bla. So we would encourage siguro for at this time nga
Dali antes ka mag-encourage kay karon ng tana. You talk like a political science student, you know. You can argue both sides eh.
well, it's our job.
Can we say nga playing safe kamo subong, Miguel?
I have to say this, unexplicit. We have an underdog. Speaking of dog, again. We have an underdog on the table. On the table. Especially nga kinanglan islan subong. Ang budlay sin no? Kay iti, kung kinanglan islan be.
Dali nga aton di nga istorya politika na mo subong inido.
Inido.
Hindi lang ta magkadto sa dog style.
Yes, wala.
Kita.
Wala lang ang folk style.
Okay, okay.
Okay. I'll not play I'm not playing safe, I'm playing analytical subong.
Okay, sige. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. We have an underdog on the table. Do we have to change the current admin? Kung gusto mo mag-testing isang bag-o naman, siyempre underdog mo. Go ahead. Why? Because wala ka free trial eh. So this would be the chance. Wala free trial, tayo pwede nga.
Do antivirus ha?
Antivirus. 1 month lang ya. 1 month lang ipapukuon ng underdog, tapos testingan ta. Pero wala ka free trial. So if you really want to change it, go ahead.
You have that risk.
Yes, you have that risk. Pero to concretize, do we need to change the admin? Kung here's the tricky thing, because it doesn't mean nga alam tapos magaranon. No, kabalo na sa tanan. Kaya itong isa nga nga maayo gid nga leader, kung alam kag mangaranon, why? Because kung atam man kaalam kag mangaranon, alaman mang kuot sa dalom, alaman mang kurakot kag tanan. Kag hindi ka makasilingan kung tigulang na da, kabalo na gid sa tanan. Kay kabalo man sa tanan pati sa idalom pagid, pati sa kuotay. Sa dalom sa lamesa nga kuotay, not the dog kind of thing. So do you need to change it? There must be change. Come on,
so it's a question between the old dog
yes.
and the new dog.
Yes, and the new dog.
Okay.
Who barks better? And
Who barks?
kung sinong ilagi kagat, yung subotik, kagtanay gina sila mo.
Oo.
Kagtanay gina sila.
Tanay pa. Ang kagtanay, ang mula na pa.
Kagtanay, because they're biting each other.
Okay.
Now, do we need to change? Of course, yes. Nga, eleksyon mo. Wala ka naman na bago sa eleksyon.
But here goes the question. Ang claim to change, is it only for the challenger or for the incumbent also? Kay gwa subong kwan inang polarized Nga if you are the challenger, ikaw lang makambal nga I will bring change. But if you are an incumbent, does it necessarily follow ano gani kung sa logic in debate na panawag ninyo? Kung sa syllogism pala? Does it necessarily follow nga if you are an incumbent nga hindi ka makakambyo sa mga bagay?
So meaning do ka false dichotomy siya?
False dichotomy.
Oo nga muna. Sa akon nga side, kung ikaw incumbent,
Anong spelling sa dichotomy gani?
Dahil patay sa una plan.
Alright. Sige, Miggy.
Kung ikaw incumbent, gapanawagan ka progreso. Yara ka na mo. Pero kung ikaw yung challenge, gipanawag mo yan, pagbago. Di ba? Amo na siyang agree ka man. Progreso ang panawagan.
That looks like a fair assessment.
Oh, yes.
If you are sitting, ang ginapanawagan mo progreso.
Progreso.
But that of course is also change.
Oo, that of course is also change.
Okay, sige, proceed.
Oo na. Tapos kung may change na, ang pamangkot naman, ano ba ang change namon? Kambyo. Kambyo! Oh, ano nga mo na change? Kikinanglan na konkreto mo. Hindi mo na pwede ka nga magbayad ka to tapos wala kambyo si mo. That is for the incumbent. Now for the challenger. Okay. Ang panawagan is pagbago. Now, kung magbago, ano naman la ang magbago-bago sa mundughan? Paano mo mapabago-bago? Bago-bago, the beat of the heart. Paano mo pabago-bago ang among nga dughan nga para si mo? Kag kung napabago-bago mo gid, paano mo humukon ang bagol sa hindi gid makakita sa pagbago? Di ba?
Complex ini nga sitwasyon.
Komplekso ka.
But that requires all of us to use our mind.
Yes, sa bagol. May
And that
pagbago,
is
may
democracy.
pagbagol.
You have to think over it. Although, siyempre, sa realidad, we talk about money politics
Yes.
May kwarta involved.
Sa realidad, tanan kita may bagol, pero juta sa may utok.
Anong bot mo siningon? Sige, Be, padayon.
Pasuingan sina, tanan kita mayara sa ulo. Hindi ka sila nga, ako ya wala ka lagi kay ulo, mayara ka ulo mo. Kag kung may makita ka gani nga pagbago, hindi ko masingan ka katol ulo mo. Kay wala ka man guro kuto Hindi ka man guro kaspahon. Ba't katol lang utok mo? Dapat ang aton pakatulon sa ning eleksyon, ang aton nga utok, pakatulon ka sa pagpaminsar. Kita makakalot sa aton ulo, pero hindi kita tanan makakalot sa aton utok mo.
Oo, no?
Oo.
Ikaw, ya.
Pero to ano na siya, duka to going back siguro sa sa job guro bla sang new challenger. I think it is really imperative mangguro nga duka it's been for the past even the school elections gani. Kung sino ang bag-o nga gusto, dala na permiso sa script nga change because what else would you bring? What would you fight? Kung philosophically mo nga you go into a fight, sino kontrahon mo? So you put an enemy, you put something in the plate. So mo na nga laban-laban do change gid ang ilang nga amo na. So on the question of change, what kind of change it is? Well, it depends sa depends sa that kind of dog as your analogy kagina nga mo na. Kaya in the end, those two dogs they would bark they bark differently. Pero in the end, they would still bite. Siguro, kung sino ang mas pinaka-worst, nga i-bite ka guro mo na guro ang ginano sa mga tao.
On that note, gentlemen, it's been an exciting interview with you. Thank you for being here.
The following joined DNX in its second anniversary celebration. Chong Tapsilogan and Sizzlers, Bread Bite Bake Shop, Ting Ting's Native Food, ISK Tech, Country Homes and Mr. Vladi Gonzalez, Bacolod Real Estate Development Corporation, and IPM Construction and Development Corporation.